have a couple of sayings that I feel are very beneficial, especially for those that just aren't comfortable with integers yet. Integers are difficult, but once you get them down, they're pretty easy. When adding integers, the following sayings will help you decide if you add or subtract between them, as well as whether or not your answer is going to be positive or negative. So the saying that I always use anytime somebody's struggling, I tell them, look at the symbols. So look at the symbols in front. We're not going to include like a plus sign, but the symbols that are sitting in front of it. So same symbols. If they have the same symbols, you're going to find the sum and apply the same symbol to our answer. So same symbol, find the sum, apply the same symbol. So example of something like that would be like, here's 4 examples. So here we had the same symbol, 4 with a negative and 15 with a negative. Okay, so same symbol, find the sum. So sum means to add. 4 plus 15, I can do that pretty easy in my head. That's 19. Apply the same symbol. So I'm going to put the same symbol on it. So we end up with negative 19. Same symbol, find the sum. So we did end up getting to add here. Apply the same symbol. So here, same thing. We've got same symbol. Find the sum. So what's the sum of 13 and 9? Well, that would be 22. Apply the same symbol. So we're going to put a negative with that. So we would get negative 22 for this one. Okay, how about the other two? Well, these two, you guys have been doing ones like these since you were probably clear back in 1st or 2nd grade, where you just get to work with just positive numbers. So 9 plus 3 is 12. Pretty basic, right? 10 plus 15 is 25. Okay, those are ones that you've worked with for a long time. These are the new ones that sometimes throw kids off. So if you use that saying, same symbol, find the sum, apply the same symbol, it should help you. So you're always going to identify by looking at your symbols first. When we've got an addition sign, or eventually tomorrow a subtraction sign between integers. So the other that we could possibly come across would be different symbols, where we end up with different symbols. We're going to find the difference, and then we're going to apply the larger sign. So we want to look at the digits as if there's no symbol in front of them, and we're going to identify as if it was a positive number, which one would be bigger. And then whichever type of sign was in front of that, we're going to add to our answer. So let's go through a couple like this. Okay, let me flip back to my yellow. So negative 4 plus, and this is a positive 15. So take note that on every single one of these, yes, there is a plus sign because we're adding integers. Okay, and tomorrow that's going to change a little bit in our next lesson. So here I have different symbols, a negative, and it's inferred that this is a positive because there's no symbol. So I have a negative and a positive. Those are different. So I'm going to find the difference. So the difference means to subtract. So I'm going to take the larger digit, which is 15, and I'm going to subtract 4. So 15 minus 4 gives me 11 for the difference. Okay, so it's 11. Now I have to decide if it's positive or negative. So this last statement helps me decide that. Apply the larger sign. So I'm going to look at my two numbers and decide which is larger. So it's 15 or 4. And no, we're not looking at it as negative 4 right now. We're just looking at the 15 and the 4, the digit. Is 15 or 4 larger? 15 is larger. So 15 was a positive number. So our answer ends up being positive. Now, whoops, my color changed when I looked at my eraser. Now, usually you don't put a positive sign in front of it, but for right now, I want you to do that so that you're not forgetting that last step. Okay, so let's go through and try another one. Different symbols, find the difference. So we have different symbols. Nothing here means it's a positive. Here we have a negative. So we have different symbols. Find the difference. So the difference between 13 and 9, and I'm not thinking of it as negative 9, difference between 13 and 9, yes, 13 minus 9 would give me 4. Apply the larger sign. So when I look at these originally, and I just look at them as digits and not worry about the symbols in front of them, and once again, my color changes every time I pick up my eraser. When I look at those, we have 13 versus 9. We're not paying attention to that negative in front of the 9. So which is bigger? 13 is the bigger number, right? Okay, so 13 was a positive answer. That means this is positive 4. Change my color before I forget. Okay, so let's do the third one. Negative 9 plus 3. Let me erase these plus signs here for now. So negative 9 plus 3. So first step, look at the symbols in front. And once again, I forgot to change my color. So when I look at those symbols in front, this one is a negative. This is nothing. It means it's positive. So those are different symbols. We're going to find the difference. So I want to find the difference or subtract between 9 and 3. So 9 minus 3 gives me 6. Now I have to decide whether it's positive or negative. Different symbols, find the difference. So we just did that, which was 6. Apply the larger sign. So when I just compare 9 to 3, and yes, I forgot to change. When I compare 9 to 3, I would say 9 is a bigger number. Now, in front of that, we had a negative sign in front of that 9, which means our answer is going to have a negative sign. So our answer there is negative 6. Okay, so let's try one more. Different symbols. This says nothing. It means it's positive. That has a negative. Those are different. So I find the difference. So the difference between 10 and 15. Well, I always think the bigger number, not worrying about the positive and negative. So I'm going to, in my head, do 15 minus 10, which gives me 5. So I know the digit in my answer is going to be 5. Now I have to decide positive or negative. Okay, so if you are just comparing 10 to 15, which would you say is bigger? Well, 15 is bigger, right? You're not worrying about that negative sign, but now I have to decide, okay, looking in front of that 15, it had a negative sign, so my answer is going to be negative 5. Okay, so that's working. Same symbols, find the sum, apply the same symbol. It's kind of like a rhyme. And if you practice that saying, pretty soon you're going to get comfortable with these and not have to say that all the time. But that kind of gets you going in the mode of breaking it down.